Welcome back, folks. It is the voice of Onewheel on another Tuesday, hanging out with you from TTR Studios, Studio A. Thank you for being here with us. I am joined as your host, Lucc. I'm joined by the man who was there, the myth. Not really a legend because you've seen him. You've all met him now. His name is Belly Matt LaBelle. What's up?
That's right. We physically touched hands and faces. And yes, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Sounds inappropriate.
It was very inappropriate sometimes.
I heard there's a lot of stories. There are some people in the social media lounge who, like me, did not get to go to Float Life Fest this weekend. I understand there's probably a little bit of, maybe not a fear of missing out, but just like a, damn, dude, all right, enough. I've seen all the videos. I've seen all the stuff. But not everybody is in that boat. Because I think there's a lot of people who really want to just relive one more time what just happened, go and talk about. The best thing about going out and getting hammered is talking about it the next morning, trying to piece together what the fuck just happened last night.
I'm still working on it.
Well, yeah, I mean,
still working on it.
There's still a few blanks that I'm looking to fill in the gaps, but really I just want to get one more. I'm just talking about the recaps from the weekend, and then after today, you will not hear us talking about Float Life Fest just for a little while. We'll give you a reprieve, and we'll get back to your regular scheduled programming. How's that? I mean, really, we got to do it. Belly went down there. We got a lot to talk about. In fact, who won all the races? I'm sure everybody wants to know. So who won the men's XR, Belly? Who won?
Yes, the one, the only Dominique Williams won the men's XR race. That's a 5-mile race doing 5 laps around a set course. And yeah, he crushed it pretty quick.
Did you run the course at all?
No, I ran on some parts of it, but my pint is not the best for off-roading compared to. I need that treaded tire from Flight Fins if I want to roll on my pint next year, because I feel like it would give me a little more grip in the grass and on the dirt and everything like that. But after last weekend, I'm really depressed, Lucc.
What's the matter?
Because now I got to spend like 18. I got to find me an XR because it's not enough.
Oh no,
it's not enough.
He's bit. He got bit by the bug, man. If you get bit by that bug and you realize, damn it, dude, I'm just tired of charging.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I do.
But I charged a lot this weekend. Thank you to anyone who let me use pint hyperchargers, because there were no pint hyperchargers there. Plenty of XR hyperchargers. Piperchargers.
Sorry.
That is great. Honestly. It's
because I do think like the pint is such a great entry level board, and it's going to get us into what we're going to talk about too today. There's a little bit more that we're going to do. We're not just doing Float Life Fest. There's a special guest coming in and joining us in about 8 minutes. We're going to have him on here, and we'll talk about that in fact, why don't we just go to
Did you want to know the rest of the races?
Well, I don't think we're going to have time to get that in and then do this as well. So why don't we just do all of that at once? Okay, because I think what we need to do is set up what's about to happen. And that'll be a nice reprieve from Float Life Fest. So yes, there will be some Float Life Fest details. In fact, we'll have a quick lightning round where I have $20 on the line for Belly.
On the line, $20.
Did not know that until this moment.
I can win $20.
You have $20 on the line today because here's what's happening.
Oh wait, is it a chance to win $20,
yes,
or is it a chance to keep my $20, or I'm just going to lose it?
I have a $20 bill in my wallet.
Okay.
It's in my wallet, and it is yours.
I thought you placed a bet for me, and then I was about to lose. I'm like,
well,
okay.
kind of. We'll see.
Let me give you my $20.
Here's what's happening. The social media lounge will be the judges on whether or not you get that 20.
All right.
What he is about to do...
Well, then I'm got. Thanks for the 20.
That's your people. They're not going to let you down. But here's the deal. What he is about to do in a little bit later in the show, we have a lightning round of just quick shot, like thoughts from Float Life Fest. What'd you think? And production-wise, it's a little tough. And I challenge you, no flubs. You have to get through that segment with no production flubs, meaning we go to the camera and it's paused and you, wait a minute, pause. No, none of that. If you do one of those, the 20 is gone.
All right.
The 20 is gone. All right. But if it is a smooth transition through all of those, I got a 20 on the line right now. I just hand it to you. And if the
can I hold it?
He's confident right now.
Can I hold it?
So that is the challenge. I'm excited to see what happens. We'll see. You will watch with me whether or not he succeeds and goes and buys lunch on TTR Studios or fails miserably, and we'll all laugh and enjoy it.
We are going to laugh and enjoy it because that is the theme of the whole damn weekend, baby.
Oh, man. You guys had so much fun. So we'll do that. But like I said, we have a guest coming on. So, Belly, here's the deal. While you were gone, there has been something really weird happening in the world of weddings that I've noticed. So, I'm telling you, this is the time where Onewheels are now in the wild. They are no longer, what is that? I think the release of the pint has got it so much into, at least into the public eye, where people now just know what it is. And I've never had that experience. So I wanted to bring this to you guys and ask you, have you ever had this happen? I was at a wedding, Belly, and I needed to go grab something last minute. One of the cables wasn't, it was kind of staticky. I was hearing some static.
Too much.
When you hear that, I don't like it. So I was like, you know what? I've got like 3 minutes before the bride comes out. I have my Onewheel. I'm going to fly and go get a different one from my bag up in the reception area. So I did it. If I didn't have my Onewheel, by the way, there's no way I'd be able to do this. So this is why I bring them to weddings. And all the guests love them, by the way. I mean, they're all fucking trekking it up from the cocktail to the reception. And I just pass them and they're like, what is that? And I'm like, you guys are doing it wrong, man. And I fly by and they laugh and then I own them for the rest of the night. So anyway, I'm going to get this cable and I come back and I just kind of jumped off the Onewheel, not realizing where it was. I knew it was out of the shot. It wasn't anywhere near, but weirdly enough, as I then went over to hand the microphone to the caterer, the photographer looks at me and she goes, hey, when you get back over to your table, would you mind turning your lights off on your Onewheel? Yeah, 100% for sure. Absolutely. Didn't even think about it. You got it. Because they're probably affecting whatever light she has set up for that shot. But what jarred me was the fact that she knew what the fuck she's looking at, Belly. Yeah. She was like, "No, can you turn the lights off on that thing? Can you turn the lights off on your Onewheel?"
Yeah.
And I was just like...
And you guys just walk away from those things on all the time. That's what I noticed over the weekend. So yeah, it's like those lights are on, like, 'cause especially at night, you see them. Those nights were foggy. The light was reflecting hugely.
Well, they're bright,
the area.
but that's not. So. I mean, sure, I'm sure that's a takeaway. That okay, but what I'm saying is,
just saying, you guys just walk away from them all the time, even just on, and not even think about it. The lights are just not something you even think about. So
no, and it was daytime. Yeah. So it's not like you would be thinking about lights. Yeah. But I don't think you're grasping what I'm going for in this story.
She
knew what a Onewheel was without even asking.
Yeah.
She just knew what it was, which was just, oh, can you turn your lights off on your Onewheel? And it jarred me. Like, yeah, of course I can. Okay. Never had that happen randomly. And so then the rest of the wedding, everybody was loving me because I'm just that guy carrying a speaker on a Onewheel to his car. And everyone's like, he is a genius. That's so smart. Look at that. And so I then go to the next wedding the next day. And this is why I couldn't be there, guys. I know I wanted to be there. You know I wanted to be there. I had 3 weddings this weekend, 5 events this week alone. I had Tuesday, Wednesday, day off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I can't. What am I supposed to do? All right.
I saw him for all of like 5 minutes. I didn't even see him Sunday night, really, until what, after midnight?
But while I'm working these weddings, man, I'm pumping out Onewheels and I'm selling these Onewheels. I told you about a month ago. I talked to one of the venue owners and he was, super into it. Anyway, I go to the next night and the caterer sees me, another situation where I'm flying around, and she goes, huh, that thing, that's the second one in 24 hours that I've seen. And I said, 24 hours? What do you mean? You've seen another person riding this at a wedding? And she goes, yeah, this guy, Jeff, he owns a farm. He's a venue owner, 12-acre farm. And he was over there last night just flying around on this Onewheel thing. And I was like, well, which Jeff is this? I'm thinking this is maybe the Jeff from Sylvanside Farm. Could it be? Because here, if you guys remember, maybe a month ago, I went out to a wedding and I told you guys I was doing this, and the owner was just like, yo, what is that thing? He's probably, I don't know, 45, 50 years old, owns, like I said, a 12-acre farm. And I said to her, is it Sylvanside? And she goes, yes, that's the one. So this guy, within the last month, came in and bought a Onewheel. And so it's really funny because I talked to his wife, and he loves his Onewheel. He's got one. He rides around on his farm, and it sounds like he's going to join us now. So I'm excited to talk to this guy. He is Jeff from Sylvanside Farm. What's up, man? How are you?
Good, man. How you doing?
Dude, you have just made my day when I heard from this caterer that you're riding around on Onewheels. Dude, Did you go out and buy one the next day after you saw me, or what? What happened? Take me through the story.
Yeah, so it was pretty funny and I have to thank you because there's no way you know where I live. I mean, I'm out here in the middle of nowhere. No, I would have never seen this thing if you hadn't brought one out to the farm. So it was really cool. And I mentioned it to my wife, like, right after I talked to you about it, while the wedding was still going on. I was like, hey, that thing's really sweet. Like, go right over the grass and everything. It's rugged. And by the time the wedding was over, I went in the house, or the wedding was still going on, but I went back in the house and she'd already ordered me one.
What? Now, wife of the year, give her a touchdown in the social media lounge, which is who is listening right now. We've got a bunch of people listening along with us, so I'm sure they're loving your wife and nominating her for wife of the year, Jeff.
Yeah, I tell you what, this thing is crazy cool here. And I use it differently than anybody else because I'm like doing chores off of it, carrying buckets of feed down across the fields. I mean, this thing is so handy. I can't thank you enough for it.
Yeah, well, you're more than welcome, and I'm just glad you're on it, dude. Take us through your property. Like, what I want you to talk about Sylvanside Farms. If you're in the DMV area and you're getting married, go check them out. I think, am I right? It's the biggest barn in the Northern Virginia area.
Yeah, it's the biggest barn in the county for sure. It's massive, and I mean, our farm's not huge. We're like 25 acres, but we got a couple barns, two different ones, as you know, that we do all of our ceremonies and cocktail hours and stuff in. But so yeah, we hold 350 people if you need to, something like that. It's a pretty good size. And
your property is not just the barn, it's like what I say, 12 acres. So like, how have you been using this Onewheel? Did you just hop right on it and start rolling through, or did you go through a learning process?
Yeah, so we're actually 25 acres, and yeah, I mean, it was a short learning process. I used to, I'm an old guy, by the way.
How old are you? Come on, how old are you? I want to know.
I'm 55.
55.
But,
okay. Yeah. And just hopped right on. Did you ever ride any boards beforehand?
Yeah, I used to skateboard a lot when I was young, and then I surfed. Not too far in the past. I've done some surfing, so it wasn't a big adjustment. Luckily, I took it up the top of the farm's 200 feet long, and it's all wood floor, so that was my training ground, just to get used to it. But and I don't shred like you guys do and go all crazy. I use it more for work, and it's a rugged little machine. I mean, I'm carrying buckets of feed down across the back field to the cows on it, and it's handy. I can't stand it.
I'm just glad that you're using it. So what would you say to other wedding venue owners or people just in the industry? Talk to like my parents. Like, do you think my parents are terrified of it, and you just like hopped on and started riding it? Why is it so useful for you?
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, I did some surfing, so I mean, I'm in decent shape and all. There's definitely some people that are going to have a little bit more trouble with it, but I think once you get on it, it's so much easier than it looks. Everybody just sees that one wheel and thinks, yes.
So, Jeff, from the social media lounge, they want to know which one did you get? Did you get the XR or did you get the Pint?
No, I got the XR.
All right, so he's riding on easy, cruising easy, because I'm super jealous. I need an XR.
She hopped on and just bought him an XR. Man, shout out your wife. What is your wife's name?
Terry.
Terry from Sylvanside.
Incredible. Yeah.
And she's into like.
I ordered right away and I had to get a fender because we're all gravel out here, so I don't want stuff flying up. So, but yeah, like I said, I beat this thing. And, I mean, it's rugged. I'm hard on equipment out here, on the farm and all, and it's a rugged little dude. I love it.
Well, we really appreciate you taking some time talking to us about it. It sounds like that you guys are doing something. I don't know if I'm doing this on air, if that's a good idea, but we'll just do it anyway. It sounds like you're doing something. I was talking to your wife, Terry, on October 20th. It's a Sunday, and there's going to be what is it that you guys are having? It's kind of like a barn expo.
We're actually having it's a fundraiser for a local farm out here called it's on the blank now. You caught me off guard.
That is my fault.
It's JK Community Farm, and they have a big farm out the road here they bought, and we were afraid it was going to go to a developer that bought it. Did a great job of cleaning it up and put in all this gardens and everything. It's all the food, all the meat goes to the community. It all goes to the food bank and the less fortunate. So we're always trying to help raise money for them. They're a nonprofit, and so we're having a big shindig out here on the 20th, the barn dance, and we're going to have and Willie's out of town here. They're coming out and cooking steaks for everybody, and we're going to have a blast.
Well, I was talking to Terry about maybe having us come out there and demo the Onewheel for you guys. Is that something that you'd be open to?
Sure, that'd be awesome. I'm thinking we should do like the backcountry Onewheel course out here.
I'm telling you. And so the reason I wanted to say this, because I know this dude would be down. DMV riders, I want to get a bunch of people together on some Sunday, October 20th. We'll get them to come down and show people in the farming industry out there. There's a lot of people out there with a lot of land, and I think it'd be a lot of fun riding around. Especially.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I can't beat it. I mean, I can't fault it at all. It's been great. And it's off the charger every morning when I come out in the dark, and it comes with me, and it just stays with me all day. And
so I'll set that up. I'll make sure to set that up for everybody.
Yeah, and we need the practice too, because there's a lot of off-roading down at the Float Life Festival we were just at this weekend, and we need the practice to really compete next year in that team competition. So any kind of off-road tracking.
Well, how did it go? He said how'd it go? He heard.
Honestly, it's a hugely fun event. It's a beautiful area, and it's just a great community to be around and jump into, and also a great community that's super supportive. So if you have links to send us for the fund that you're trying to raise money for.
She sent it to me already. I'll blast it out. So yeah. In fact, Jeff, are you by chance on Facebook?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna need you to start. I need you to start finding the Onewheel owners group, the Onewheel riders. There are a whole bunch of Facebook groups, and we need you in there, man. We need you part of the community.
Sweet. All right, man.
All right, dude.
I'll get on it.
Jeff from Sylvanside Farm. Thank you, man. I appreciate the time, brother.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, later, bud.
Well, that's awesome.
That was fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, he's obviously got a new thing, a new industry to bring him into. So
he jumped right in it. He didn't just wait there and dip his toe. He just went balls deep into the Onewheel. I love it, man.
You have to do that.
I'm the way you could see it in his eye, folks. I'm telling you. I told you. Remember, it was like a month ago. I was like, I think I sold four Onewheels this weekend.
2 lines crossed through his eye, so it looked like a Onewheel. Is that what happened? Like all of a sudden, you just see the 2 lines like grow out from his pupil. And both pupils now look like Onewheels. Is that what that's what you saw?
Yeah, that's exactly what I saw. How did you know?
Sounds terrifying.
So let's get back into the races. Now you were there, and we could. You know what? I really would rather know what you thought about just your experiences camping. Like, because I have one thing that I heard about the camping, and I'll just mix that in randomly.
Sure.
So take it away. Like, what was your overall takeaway from this weekend?
So it leads me into just shouting out so many people. This is going to be a love fest on all the people that really made this event fun for me, really like stood out to me.
And if you weren't there, I'm right there with you. I'm living vicariously through them. So just remember, this is the last of it. So just enjoy it, eat it up, soak it up, and then it's over.
It's all right. Most of our social media lunch was there. You're going to have to join in next year to get in on the fun.
Yes. So who you shouting out? Who did you meet? Who was like...
Right off the bat, like I park camping was a lot of fun, and here's why. I had a great crew to camp with. I was with the DMV crew: Chris, Emily, Jordan, Fernanda, Jamie, Andrew.
I don't want that. I don't want that.
Rebecca Randolph, Andy.
Yeah.
Brian. Let's see. Sale, Corey, Daniel, Javier.
Wow.
Jeff. Oh, man, I'm trying to think of all the names that are crossing my mind.
Yeah, now you did that, and you're going to leave some people out. No, you can't go to your phone.
John, I have it. I have it all noted. I have it all noted because I had to make sure I got all of them out. Honestly, one of the best parts about having this group to camp with and getting them in on everything, it's real easy to just go out, meet people, talk to people, have a good time, but it's so nice to have like a home base where you're set up, where you can go back to, run into people find someone that maybe wants to do something. We all the DMV riders, most of us went out to Oscar Blues Brewery on Friday and checked out some trails around there, hung out at the brewery, had a great time. When you have a home base like that, it's unbelievable, unmatched. Like to kind of have that home feeling.
Was it kind of like a slice of home having the DMV crew to tent with?
Exactly. They're your crew. They're your rides,
cool.
And also like especially with the team competition part of it. That shout out to Troy for keeping track of all the races, all the racers. There were 140 racers in the XR race. That was a mass start race where
I saw
all the
that.
riders all at once were racing on it. Over 140 riders. That's more. That's almost more riders just in the race that were then at the last Float Life Festival. There were over 350 riders there over the weekend. It's the other thing you got to get a shout out to.
Check it out.
This
There you
team.
go. That's the mass start.
mass start. It's just
over. Look how many people this is. If you're listening on the podcast, it's like you said, 140 riders.
All on this dirt trail. Like dirt's getting kicked up right away.
I mean, this is awesome. If you're looking at it, how did they place people? Was there time trials?
So they had magnetic. If you were a racer, you during these races had literally a like chip band that tracked your times around like where the interval was.
Really?
Yep.
That's
it was
pretty
super organized
high-tech.
and set up. I mean, it was absolutely it was just a huge event, a huge undertaking.
Yeah.
So shout out to the organizers, Justin Thompson, Sarah Rose, and all the volunteers who spent all that time working very, very hard to manage a huge group and absolutely killing it. I mean, it was such a huge event. The other thing that I have to say is like the community was absolutely fantastic. There weren't many issues, if any at all, over the weekend. And you're bringing in people from all over the world. Shout out to the three German guys at FLF. The first day that we were there on Thursday, they all had shirts together. 3 Germans at FLF. They stopped over, said hello to me personally. Ignatz, man, what a nice guy. Came up, said hello, said every day, 6 o'clock in Germany, Tuesdays. It's time for Voice of Onewheel.
That's awesome.
Listeners of the show,
that's
anyone
cool.
who came up to me
That's
talking
cool.
about
That's
listeners,
cool.
Tom Plevel was the first person outside the DMV group to recognize me, and he recognized me from very far away riding a bicycle. He's riding a bike. I see him kind of head twitch and then just go, belly out. That was Tom Plevel from Pittsburgh. He is an awesome dude. Excellent weekend hanging with those guys. Another 2 from Pittsburgh, 2 girls, one wheel. They were trying to get me off jumps, and I attempted multiple times, but they were absolutely fun and had a great time hanging with them as well.
We've got a lot to do. I want to mix in. Look at this. This is Kyle Taylor's final trick from the trick competition. I wanted to show you guys that as we're just doing a whole bunch of Float Life Fest this week. I mean, that's pretty cool. I'm going to play it one more time for you.
That's from Dustin Foster.
Yeah, what
video.
a cool view.
Yep. And what I mean, those guys were killing it all weekend on the tricks, man.
I just love that, man. That's so
Also,
cool.
drones flying around everywhere.
P.S. Who's flying the drones? Because they are pros, man.
The media staff, we met the guy, he hung out with the DMV crew a little bit late night. He stopped in and he was just he did an excellent job of flying around. I know a lot of the people from the Float Life media team had drones flying around. There was also a lot of people from the Float Life and also Float Life Fest's own media team. I mean, they were just killing it with the videos every day. And they had videos at the end of every night at 9 p.m. You could go up to the main barn area, and there was a highlight reel video ready to go from the day.
Wow.
There was a day recap video at 9 p.m. every day showing a bunch of video clips and things from throughout the day that you just...
Who was this company? Who did this?
I don't know that.
We need to find that out.
We need to find that out. Well,
yeah,
I guess
want to shout them out. I want to have them on the show because I think that would be fun to see like what they thought, especially if they're not one wheel. Like obviously if it was like Jamie Truckner, if that's how I'm saying it right, like the guy who obviously is a videographer. Well, okay, he's deep into the community, but wouldn't it be cool if like this random filming company was hired to do this and then they came out? I'd love to get their perspective on what the hell just happened.
Yeah.
That'd be fun to see.
Yeah.
Let's get Troy Hendricks' explanation of what the hell happened. Let's see.
Gonna unmute.
I will. I got it now. This is why I'm charging you for the $20 later. Here we go.
Such a fun weekend. My favorite thing was really watching that rivalry between Raquel and Rachel, and having gotten to know Rachel Cecil and watching her race and watching her comport herself and help the kids and spend a lot of time letting them get excited about the sport and taking pictures with her was something that I thought was really special. And I think that rivalry for years to come is going to be one of the most exciting things we can see in the sport. and just what a great weekend. Many thanks to everybody that was involved.
So I wanted to give a shout out specifically. I had that on my list. I watched the Groms were sending it all weekend long, and one of the people that was helping them by far the most, very selflessly, Rachel Cecil was there every step of the way, encouraging them, helping them with tricks, like really like helping them process all the the whole event really, and then getting them out there and getting them ready for their trick competitions that all of them absolutely crushed and went all out on. I mean, she was great doing that, and then the Groms were great for sending it. And then shout out to the 2 Groms that ended up winning the pints during the Rochambeau. Rochambeau was a super cool thing because it's just this whole crowd just holding their fists in the air.
Yeah, take me through this. Like, what's going on?
So it's rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
And basically Justin stands up, and it's row, sham, and then you throw whatever you're throwing. And if Justin beats you, you're out. You walk away.
Awesome.
You
Is he
walk
good?
away. I mean, it's not. It's a game of
No.
It is a game of chance.
Nope. That's our new question. Is Rochambeau a game of luck or a game of skill?
It's a game of probability. Is really it.
Skill.
2 out of 3.
I
out
am
of the
better
3.
than you
would,
at Rochambeau. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Is that it?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Get out of here.
Told you.
Out. You're out, Lucc. You're out of Rochambeau.
Damn it.
Rochambeau, get out of here. But shout out to the 2 Groms. Angus, Kari's son, won the first night, won the pint. It's huge for him because he was saving up for one. And then young Bodie won the second night. 2 kids that are going to be huge in this one wheel community in the future because they are super skilled. Both competed in the Grom race, which is not an easy course. Huge drop. There's 2 drops on there that was eating everybody out, and some of them were cruising through it. I mean, it's yeah. But still, it was destroying everyone. There were so many people falling during that part, eating them out.
I mean,
Apparently, is what it was doing. Apparently. Moving on.
Let's hear from Kai Miller. What happened to him? There he is. Oh, God.
What's up, Kai Miller from Swerve. I think my favorite thing was yelling fam at everybody. But just getting to meet everybody, seeing everyone, doing the group ride for Mark Lindsay, Onewheel Jesus. That was pretty spectacular.
No, we didn't get to do that. I know Belly didn't get to do that. That would have been something to be cool. That would have been cool to do. I'm sure the one wheel ride for. I'm doing a lot of production behind the work. I found
when
I wanted to say real
arrived,
quick, if it's okay. I just think that's one of the coolest things. And you didn't get to do that.
Yeah, I just missed it. I arrived just late. But as soon as I got in Asheville, I saw people in robes riding out because they had just finished up the ride. Excellent event, and over 100 riders attended the event.
Now, this is what I was trying to get, and here's a little clip from it. You've got just what happened. Obviously, if you haven't heard, I'm sorry. I'm just going to recap for anybody who's listening for the first time. You know, Mark Lindsay passed away, and when he was first noticed in the one-wheel community, he was riding through Birmingham, Alabama, in a hospital gown, and that was noticed. And then people are like, "What the hell is this? Who is this guy?" He became One-Wheel Jesus, and then obviously, some tough turn. And when he did pass, his wife Ashley, is it his wife? I believe it's his wife. His girl Ashley, either way, doesn't matter. She was just so cool down there, organizing a group ride for Mark.
Brought
like 200
lot of the robes,
hospital robes. So obviously that was just one of the neatest things, and I was glad that Kai brought that up because I know I heard personally from a lot of people that were like, "Wow, what a great weekend!" But I wish I would have known to get there earlier for the group ride for Mark Lindsay. That would have been.
Hopefully
it meant a lot to a lot of people,
and hopefully that's something that they can do every year, right before Float
that should
Life
be
Fest.
a thing.
Because
let's make
now
that a
book
thing.
your Wednesdays, folks.
Absolutely,
book your Wednesdays in Asheville.
Can I get Christian Kiefer in here? I'd like to hear from Christian Kiefer on what he thought was a good thing or two from the One Wheel weekend. He is Okeashi, otherwise known as Bigfoot.
Bigfoot. 3 favorite things at Float Life Fest this weekend was the one wheel toss, which ended up being fishing for the one wheel. Number 2 was hanging out with Canadian Dave Magic, so aka Canadian Blaine. And then last was hanging out with all the one wheel fam. It's kind of cool to see people like Andrew Stroh. Seeing him, and he was kind of the dude that kind of got me into wanting to do this. So that's my deal.
Awesome.
Christian.
Thank you, Christian. Appreciate you, brother. I know he's always in the social media lounging. And while Billy's doing some stuff here, I just wanted to play this for you guys because some people were asking, wait a minute, why don't we have a Ramp It Up parody? We did this. I did this like a couple weeks ago. So in case that you haven't heard this one, this is our Ramp It Up commercial that we made, and then Onewheel went out and made. I'm not saying they copied us, but they did one very similarly for Stoke. Like we did a medical version of Ramp It Up. They did a medical version for Stoke, saying that the answer was the Onewheel. Thought it was a really funny campaign, but here was our version of a parody for Ramping It Up.
Are you suffering from anxiety at the workplace? Do your bosses give you deadlines that seem like they're impossible to reach? Well, we've got the answer for you. Here at TTR Studios, we've been working really hard on our patent-pending phrase that gets you right out of the kitchen when you can't handle the heat. Tell that paper-pushing executive of yours not to worry, you're about to ramp it up. Or maybe you're suffering from angry spousal anti-cleaning disorder. Who hasn't been yelled at to pick up the slack with household chores? But your dishes go in the sink, not the dishwasher. And we here at TTR Studios say, you know what? That's okay. Just tell your spouse not to worry. You're about to ramp it up. Get out of the hot seat and head into the bedroom with one quick phrase that relieves you of any accountability. Just ramp it up. Disclaimer, this phrase is still being tested by the FDA and may or may not have opposite effects of intended use. Side effects include lack of awareness, embarrassment on social media, and loss of appetite due to nausea. If your boss remains displeased with you for more than 4 hours at a time, please call the unemployment office and set up an immediate appointment. Ramp it up. It's just something you say.
Keel Hart, what did you think were the best things about Float Life Fest 3?
Hey, what's happening, fam? Clyde reporting. If you guys haven't heard about Heckle Hill, that was one of the best parts of Float Life Fest. Got to meet the rest of the fam, even Super Murph, so yeah, that was really cool. Even got to get an interview from Future Motion that probably won't make it. Anyway, have a good one, guys.
Blake Goodman, the Super Murph team tandem, he actually got into the semifinals of the Clydesdale race.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, let's get into
excellent dude as well.
Thank you. That was Keel Hart. So let's get into
his poor glasses broke during the XR race. He took 2 big tumbles during the XR race. If you can't see it,
I didn't
he
know
has
this until Belly told me before.
paperclip holding his glasses together. That's why they are crooked and messed up right now. His nose might be messed up too, to be honest, because he took some tumbles this weekend. He was floating around in his alien suit, which you'd think would be hot, but it's got a fan built into it.
Poor
He was
guy.
super cool all weekend long.
Of course he was. He's Keel. He's from the West Coast. He's chilling. He's one of our favorite
Speaking
dudes.
of another West Coaster, I got to shout out June Kim. He got me on the. He was the one that took me on to the pump track. He took me on the pump track, tried to help me learn and get me up hills and things like that. Really excellent.
So
helping him out.
Let's get into some more of the results from the races.
Sure.
I know we also had some. Let's just go through them. Who the winners were?
So
XR. Who won?
We already said Dom won.
Dom won that. Now the
Yep.
dual slalom courses was pretty cool. So go ahead to go through that.
First of all, anyone who was there that saw the dual slalom, or if you watched some of it in the videos, it was absolutely 100%. Even if you don't ride a one wheel, super entertaining. Like some races were coming down to wires and milliseconds.
ESPN the Ocho.
No, it needs to be on the main
ESPN motherboard.
Whoa! These races were so excellent to just witness and see. The course was challenging and yet didn't deter riders. There were so many. Over 200 riders signed up for qualifiers. To do the time trials, you had to be in one of the top 64 times of all the people that went through time trials. And yet, and over 200 people signed up to do the time trials, get into the race. 64 competitors. It was an absolute huge blow up event, and you had.
People are asking what Heckle Hill is. Can you just answer that real fast?
So yes, Heckle Hill was.
I talked with Amanda Crompson and she told me all about Heckle Hill. Sly Dog Stroh, touchdown. What a great idea.
Yeah, so that was where some of the South Florida group had Heckle Hill this year. It's a big hill right near the main barn area where basically every rider has to drive by to get food, to go up to the competitions, to ride up to where the waterfalls were. If you were riding by there after like 7:30, 8 p.m., there's a good chance you were getting the heckle on no matter what you were doing. Oh, and you got one big rule: don't ever be walking by Heckle Hill because you will get the heckle.
Oh, you better be
hard.
one-wheeling. I get it.
You better. Or it's funny when someone was riding 2 wheels. Hey, you got one too many wheels there, guy. You need to calm down.
So you gotta have thick skin when you're walking by Heckle Hill.
Yeah, thick skin walking by Heckle Hill.
And then did more and more people kind
of
of gravitate towards it, and then just start laying it on people.
I was up there for a bit. I was up there for a bit,
but in a fun way. You're not like actually like mean to people, right?
No. It was always fun, all fun and games. In fact, for a short time, I tried to get it turned into Hype Hill, where we were. I was still.
Of course you did.
They all rolled out,
of course,
and I was the last. Me, Amanda, and Stro were the last 3 there. So I was like, all right, let's just start hyping people up. So we were just
a good idea.
Hey, you're doing great. Great ride in there, Chief.
From the social media lounge. Walkers, quit walking. We would stay dark, then blast them with megaphones and lights.
Yep.
Yeah, you didn't want to get caught walking past Heckle Hill. Bodie kept trying to ninja by.
Yeah. Very, very slyly. The pink helmet was a dead giveaway, though.
Oh, it's so funny.
Man.
Emily Jakes says Heckle Hill was also terrifying. Well, Emily, we wanted to say happy birthday to you. Hopefully you don't find this terrifying.
I want your neighbors to hate us, but they might.
It's all right. They already do.
Are they saying things?
They're right and their responsibility. No.
They're not kicking or anything, right? Okay, good.
No.
Well, they were tumbling, drying boots the other day.
I don't want to talk about it. Adam lost his crazy little mind. Emily Jakes joins us on the program. Hi, Emily. Well, welcome to the show. Now, your husband did a wonderful job, but he had the microphone way low. You have it in a perfect spot. That's good. Now, he's watching you out there, so don't screw any of this up. Okay, good. Now, you've been riding for how long, Miss Jakes?
About 2 years.
About 2 years. And don't you do a lot of the DMV one-wheel rides? Do you organize some of these? What's going on Saturday?
DMV crew is great. We're going to do a glow ride on Saturday with our light-up suits.
What is that?
Everyone's welcome. We have glowy Zoes. There's a lot of promo codes floating around in that group.
What's up with the glowy Zoe, dude? Let me just tell you, okay? The glowy Zoes are pretty much, I'm not saying they're because of Miss Jakes, but she's one of the main crew that makes them a thing. And it's really funny to watch the DMV crew now all has them riding around in the capital of the nation's capital, these glowing stick figures, and she is one of the founders. So happy birthday to our friend Emily Jakes.
Speaking of which, I got to go get something.
Okay, see you later. Belly's out. Very good. But absolutely 100% give her a shout out in the social media lounge. She is a DMV champion. And so also, lot that I wanted to mention, I know Belly had some more ideas for you guys as he just leaves me here by myself. The groom, one of the things that he just yelled as he was getting. Think about this: when you're at a wedding, you do the ceremony, and then everybody leaves and goes to the cocktail hour. Okay, as I transition awkwardly into something I can say for about 30 seconds while he's gone. Everybody goes to the cocktail hour, but the bride and groom typically stay back in the ceremony site and they take pictures with extended family. And then just themselves. So while that's happening, I'm just going back and forth on my one wheel, cleaning it up. And the bride is somebody who knows me. She's a friend of mine. And she yells, "Lucio, you would bring that thing!" And the groom goes, "Hey, man, I want to try it!" I literally just yelled to him, "Anything for the groom," and zoomed by. And I'm telling you, I owned them for the rest of the night. Everybody loved it. Belly, what did you bring in? What do you have over here?
So I had to shout out the birthday girl for doing this awesome job. She got our DMV one-wheel shirts together. They had our names on them.
Oh, very nice.
And of course, mine had a little special add-on. But you would have
you have it? Belly out.
You would have seen our group riding around on Saturday. We all had our shirts on, and we were definitely the best dressed.
Oh, really? Shots
of the
fired?
one-wheel group of the one-wheel groups. Best dressed for sure. Great team effort all weekend long.
Belly is just firing.
I mean,
over here.
it was an
why don't we
awesome
do this?
time. So happy birthday to our shirt guru, Emily Jakes.
Tell me this: who won the? This is what I think everybody would like to know. Do you have the results on the city rides, like the group rides of the competition per city?
Yes, I do. Troy sent me that information over,
All right, well,
and
let's
again.
drop that because I want to know what that is, and then we'll hear from Jonathan Stock coming up here in just a second.
So the group that won it, and some may say it's a little shady, but I don't because I know how much work went into this, and I also know that they had a lot of great riders. The winners of the team competition this year, the first name on the plaque that was created by Keel Hart, one Keel in the social media lounge, an excellent, excellent trophy, is the Float Aliens.
Really?
That is the Float
Wait
Atlanta
a
group.
minute.
Where Troy
Did they
comes from?
cheat?
No. They have really great riders. You got Blake Goodman, who was in the semis. You got Rachel Cecil, who won the dual slalom. You got
She's not from Atlanta.
She's from Atlanta now. Yeah, she moved to Atlanta a couple months way
wow.
back.
I
Yeah,
didn't know
so
that. I'm
she's from
sorry.
Atlanta.
Okay, cool.
They had a great participation. Troy was in almost every competition, even just trying. He was trying to send it during the tricks competition. He was maybe out of his league with some of those guys in the sense of
All of us are.
yeah, those guys are all throwing it down, but he was going big for it and making huge attempts, and I think did an excellent job.
Oh, that's cool.
And then Jamie Ledyard won the Clydesdale race for the XR race overall. He was the best Clydesdale in the XR race. So they won huge points right away that made it like super hard to catch up with those guys. The Wheelbillies had a great showing. The Detroit One Wheel group had a great showing. But here is this. I think they deserve a huge shout out for the second place finishers. And these results are a little unofficial. They're still tallying up a lot because there are so many. Like I said, over 140 races in the XR race, over 200 races that did the time trials, over so many guys doing the trick competitions and Groms. Overall, the Shenanigan Squad from Ohio. What a great showing they had with racers from their area. They only had 4 racers. I think it was only 4 people on their real team, and that was. But I mean, they're an A squad. You got Robert Allen from Badger Wheel. You got Ori Rush from Flight Fins. And then you've got Josh and Jamie Bryant.
Who are they?
You may have heard of them before.
Love you, copy.
They all did excellent in the racing. I mean, Robert took 4th in XR. You had Josh participating in everything. You had, I mean, it's just they did an excellent job all around. They, with 4 people, finished 2nd in the official or unofficial rankings right now of the cities. That's a huge accomplishment for them. So shout out to them. Congrats, guys.
One of the other cities that we did not mention yet, but does a lot of work for the One Wheel communities is the Denver Mob, the Rocky Mountain Mob, and one of their own, Jonathan Stock, has a few words for us.
I'm headed back to work now, riding my board to go back to work. Just got done working here in the morning, and I do have 3 thoughts about Float Light Fest. The first one was stoke overload. I'm sorry if I missed you or didn't say hello to you or seemed like I was ignoring you. There was just so much happening all at once. I was overloaded with love and excitement. The second part is thanks to Dustin and Bob for being amazing roommates at the Airbnb. And then number 3 was, are you going to be there next year, Lucc? Because we're all very curious to wonder since they've already announced the dates.
Jonathan Stock, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm headed back to
Always quick to call out your boy. Yes, thank you very much, Jonathan. I know he had a blast, it looks like, in some of the videos I was watching him. He was in the Canadian Davehere, otherwise known as Canadian Blaine, magic trick video. Did you see that, Belly?
I lived it.
Were you there at the table?
I was hanging out with the Millers at the table at the time, and we were doing the trick there, and he stole
my mind, dude.
It blew my mind.
I don't know how he did it.
I'm still not sure how he did it.
There's video
I'm
out
never
there,
gonna
but
be
what?
sure.
There's something. What, Clyde? What?
What?
There's more from him? Jonathan Stock wants more?
The other part of this is Matt LaBelle. You are the man. I had a really, really nice time meeting you. Kind of like the exact same kind of way I had a nice time meeting Lucc at Race for the Rail in Colorado. But then I didn't really ever see him again.
Jesus.
Lucc, I love you, buddy.
Yeah, I love you too, John.
So wait,
yeah.
What is he saying? He actually didn't love meeting me?
Somehow I came out on top there.
It's because I caught him sneaking out. He tried sneaking out on us all, and I caught him. No, sir.
That is
I
awesome.
should have shouted from the rooftops that you were leaving, so you'd have to say goodbye to way too many people. But he was right. That was something of the event. Like, you just are meeting so many people.
Yeah. And he's right.
Sometimes, like, you're in between things, but otherwise, it's just so many people nonstop.
And he's right. I want to be there. I know they just announced the dates. Of course they did. And of course I already have a wedding booked on that weekend. I'll just go ahead and say it now. I'm just going to say it. I have one. Of course it's not on a Saturday already. It's a Friday, Belly. So it pretty much screws me of doing either like Wednesday through Friday and then coming home from the weekend. Dude, I got a wedding coming in for June 2021 the other day.
Yeah.
Like, these things come in so early.
They don't stop.
I've told you, I've
people.
never had a weekend where they announced the dates and I've had it free and then booked a wedding. I promise you, these things happen over months ago.
Yep, you booked.
I did 3 weddings this weekend alone.
And 2 of them, I think, booked over a year out ahead of it.
Yeah, and there are only 2 or 3 months where they really come in for high dollar, which really is like my nut for the whole year. I have 3 months. It's just like May, September, and October to basically make my money for the year so that Monday through Friday, I'm free to do this with you guys. I know it sucks that I can't make these things in the fall. It really does. And I'm the one who shit the bed in Race for the Rails. That one's on me. I will 100% be at that one next year. And I'm going to find a way to at least be there for hopefully a day. If I've got to just go down there for a day, if I got to go down there Saturday morning, fly in on Saturday at 11 and just hang out, I'll do it. But I can't cancel weddings on people. I just cannot do that. It'll be the end of my business, and then I will not be able to do this. I'll have to go get a 9 to 5, and this is over. I'm terribly sorry. I already have one on that Friday. What?
Yeah,
What, Clyde? What?
The social media lounge says someone needs to bring a cardboard cutout of Lucc next year.
Give them a touchdown.
Touchdown.
That's awesome.
I also want to. So I got one more big shout out to give out, and this is the person I think I love their energy, their stoke over the weekend. Someone who was having a great time with literally everyone and meeting everyone. Bart Miller, man. That guy,
he was really on your fun list.
That guy is so cool. Said such nice things, and also just in reality, like, I don't think everyone was smiling a lot over the weekend. Like, everyone was having a great time. But I don't think he did the Hooligan Rumble, which is basically an event where you try and knock each other off your boards. And it's basically a sport built for Bart. And he took many a tumble, many a time. Guys like Tim Tapscott were way too good at that game because they are all mass and like not easy to knock off their board, man. I mean,
that sounds crazy.
It's a crazy event.
From the social media lounge, Heckle Hill would have its way with a Lucc cutout.
Oh no, it's so true. It's so true.
Welcome to my life. It's basically my whole life growing up.
Oh, but yeah, man, shout out to the Millers. Bart was so great over the weekend, so friendly, so much fun. So many people were. What a great time all weekend long.
So I'm glad you were able to be there for it. I really am. And one other person that I'm glad to have that was able to be there was Parker Tony Steck. Now, Parker won a contest, and so basically we sent him there. And so I did not know he was going to be the one to win it. We said, tell us why we should send you to Float Life Fest. And then we made that hashtag, and then we said the one with the most likes will win. I'm just trying to full screen it. Just have it ready for full screen. Yeah. So anyway, what he did, and I'm just thinking my production brain goes, and then my storytelling brain goes, and I do apologize, but because Parker went out there, and it's really good that he was able to do this because we lucked out. I mean, we had no idea we didn't know he was going to win.
No.
Like, we didn't know he was going to be the one that was going to win the Send Me to Float Life Fest, and he wasn't going to be able to go otherwise. I'm really thinking that this guy should be there because, I mean, he's one of the pillars of this community at this point, and he's somebody that made a character. Well, I'm not going to go. I don't need to make a character. He introduced us to a character on this show. From this show, it was created out of thin air. We were introduced to him out of thin air, which is, I think, his cousin. Is it his cousin, Canadian Davehere?
The cousin.
Who also showed up at Float Life Fest and put this together for us. So I wanted to thank Parker and Canadian Davehere for putting these interviews together in a way that only Lueno knows how.
it's Canadian Davehere, and we're gonna be. Hey everybody, it's Canadian Davehere with TTR Studios.
It's all good, homie.
Hey everybody, it's Canadian Davehere at Float Life Fest 3 for TTR Studios, voice of Onewheel, and I'm gonna go walk around and interview some of the big names in one-wheeling. So let's go. Hey everybody, it's Canadian Davehere with TTR Studios, and whenever your board breaks and you don't want to send it in, you take it to Ryan Hurwitz over here. So Ryan, what got you into?
I'm not Ryan.
Oh, shoot. The woman who represents the Onewheel, Angel Cooper. So how has it been going this whole time? And I'm with Amanda Thompson from One Woman, One Wheel.
Hi, the Queen of Onewheel here.
Studios, and I'm with my favorite YouTuber, Jimmy Chang, over at One Rad Wheel. I just want to ask you, what inspired you to make your videos?
Well, I don't make the videos, Dave. That's Jimmy Chang. I'm John Stock.
Oh shoot, you're the Armadillo Jizz guy. I got one of the craziest riders ever, One Wheel Jungle, and I love your Instagram. So where do you get all the ideas for like how crazy you go? Oh shoot, I got it wrong again. And I'm with the Badger Wheel man himself, Ori Rush. How are you doing at Float Life Fest now?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good.
Yep.
I'm not sure you know who I am, but
try my best.
I'm having fun.
Try my best.
All right.
TTR Studios. If you need to know how to ride the One Wheel, you know, Chris Richardson is your man. So, hey, everybody's Canadian Dave here with TTR Studios. I got Matt Hoover here from Float Life, and just want to say, how's everything going so far?
It's great. I'm digging it. There's a lot of people with fangs, so
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty good about
Dude, the things are great.
Thanks.
I love what you make.
Thanks so
So
much.
keep up the good work.
Yeah. Peace.
Hey everybody, it's Canadian Dave here at Float Life Fest 3 with Nick from Craft and Ride. So I just want to ask you, Nick, how's it going so far?
So far, everything's awesome. Just having a great time here. How you doing?
Pretty good, Nick. Hey everybody, it's Canadian Dave here at Float Life Fest 3 with Mike Vitale from Craft and Ride. I just want to ask you, how's the whole day been going?
I don't know. I haven't really watched any of it.
Oh man, so you've been at your booth the whole time?
No.
Selling your stuff?
Yep. That's me. Craft and Ride, dude.
Sweet. I got Michael Broussard here who makes the killer one-wheel stands. And what else do? You do one-wheel stands and the rail guards.
Got the wrong guy. It's the Badger here, Robert Allen.
Hey everybody, it's Canadian Dave here. I'm at Float Life Fest 3 and it's raining out, so I thought this would be a good opportunity to tell you about the Lueno H2O damage prevention kit. So essentially you take about 300 of these and you pour all the rice out into a bathtub and put your one wheel in there for about 24 hours and then I'll clear out all the water. So you don't need to do Badger kit or anything like that. Just go ahead and use the H2O damage prevention kit from Lueno. That's all I got. Probably the most creative t-shirt guy that I've met in my entire life with stokebutter.com. It's Parker Tony Stack.
Hey guys.
So how you doing with the t-shirt designs and all that stuff like that?
Just trying to put them out there, man. I'm just glad you guys all love them, man. Really. Can I ride it?
That's a t-shirt that he sells. And I got the man himself from Lucc Dog and Belly, from Voice of Onewheel. So Lucc, what has it been like being here at Float Life Fest 3?
Sir, I think you have me and Lucc confused. You know who I am.
Oh shoot. I'm talking with Dominique, and I just want to know what it was like to win first place.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. I'm pretty much still a Grom, but you know, I also beat everyone else, so hell yeah.
So we just went through an amazing race right now. I just wanted to ask a few questions. Number one, you know, Slydog, I know that you got hurt recently, and you've been riding on your Rad Mini. So how was it racing with a hurt leg? How was it racing with the hurt leg?
What?
You hurt your leg recently.
I did?
Yeah, you fly from Chicago, right?
Yeah, I did.
So Michael, when you designed flight fins, what was inspiration for that?
Just trying to get high, baby.
Well, and that's it for me. So I'll see everyone next year at Float Life Fest 4. Thanks, voice of Onewheel. Voice of Onewheel.
How good is that? Oh, thank you, Parker. Thank you, Canadian Davehere. And thank you to everybody who put these videos together for us. It was awesome. From the Social Media Lounge, Beat Myself Laughing. Us too. So thank you guys. That's been a fun show, man. Jam-packed as per usual. Belly, we got to get out of here. Take us away, dude.
We need name tags next year, obviously. I know that, man, what a great event. Justin, again, all the SRS and all the sponsors for the event. Wow. Great job, guys. So glad that I can attend. And I've already marked in my calendar the dates for next year. So, boom. See you next year.
All right, folks, it is the voice of Onewheel from TTR Studios. The patrons-only podcast is back. Regular scheduled programming is back. Everybody is back in town. We are so excited. Get out of my camera. What is this? Belly's out of here. I gotta go. We love you guys. Peace.